Alrighty, welcome back to Tea Time, right? You should know by now, Shima, Sam.
Mm-hmm. We have a semi-serious business to get to.
It's pretty important.
On May 21st, 2011, and then sequentially again on October 21st, 2011, some guy really fucked up. That was the pastor who thought he had deciphered the Bible and predicted Doomsday.
More than once.
More than once. Resulting in some chaos. So today's episode is brought to you by...
what was his name?
There's something camping. Harold Camping?
There you go, Harold Camping. He's not sitting.
No, he's not driving. He's not.
He's camping.
He's camping.
So today's episode is going to be about, are you prepared
for Doomsday?
For Doomsday.
We're back.
Alright, so I suppose we should talk about how, we mentioned Harold Camping, and, so what he was kind of predicting was very synonymous with, the Y2K thing, and how people...
Yeah, he did it for different reasons, but it was the same result, where everyone was like, oh no, what are we gonna do? Just sell.
People spent a lot of money.
5,000 people had it put on billboards, 200 RVs had scripture written on the side of it, people liquidated their retirement funds, college funds. Just, I don't know why they would do that.
I suppose their world was ending.
Their world was ending, but the prediction was that 200 million Christians were going to be taken, and then the rapture would happen. So I don't know how would you donate your college fund to what is it? Everyone's left behind, while we're being burned alive. I say we because I follow in the not Christian category of people that are going to be burned alive during the rapture.
There's many of us.
There's a few of us kicking around. I don't think Sikhs are on their list.
Yeah, I don't think they favor them particularly.
So were they just donating to that kind of the foundation to save the burning folks? Anyways,
so I think the biggest thing here is what we noticed that they had the hysteria, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of hysteria generated by the world is ending, and we kind of have something that's coming up, hump day.
There's a lot of realistic natural disasters, and we'll get into that later. But he's not the first person, for sure, to do that, and he hasn't been the last. And more recently, we have the Mayan calendar ending, the whole thing, the wonderful media sensation that wrote, oh no! How many different theories have you read of end of the world or changes that are going to happen when the Mayan calendar ends? I've heard the one where asteroid from space, that was a big one.
They still always...
They always say...
they always argue
they,
about
stuff. They say the craziest things.
And, potential impact from space, and there's, the idea there's going to be huge floods.
There was going to be a climate change. The magnetic polarity of the Earth was going to reverse.
That may still be possible, but, the facts suggest that there's something going on, but it might not be a catastrophe.
And I don't think it's set up that the Mayans were all they had their geographic equipment set up, and then right beforehand they're like, dude, we gotta warn people about this.
And in fact, if you talk to Mayan and Hopi elders now, they tell you, no, it's not an end, it's supposed to be a time of change. Because they monitored our solar system and our galaxy's rotation around the center of the universe, kind of like we look at our clock. Once it ticks 12 again, it's going to start up.
The Mayan calendar wasn't meant to predict anything, though. It's just a measurement of time. So they're switching over into this new time slot isn't an end of anything. It's like the hand clicking from 1 to 2 on your hourglass in the grand scheme of things. The Mayans just measured years differently. Mm-hmm. And then everyone was like, oh, fuck! Ah! and
then Loki's like, yes.
Yeah.
Raining sulfur.
Wow. We will all burn. I can't do a really good Loki impression.
It just reminds me of that movie Dogma. Remember?
Which Dogma?
Where Loki's like, no, it's a special skill to rain down sulfur.
Yeah. That takes endurance. I remember that.
Yeah. So a lot of people think with 2012, God's wrath is finally going to hit a certain peak and people will rupture from the earth.
His pissed offness is going to reach its epitome, and then he's just...
And then Christians will take a particular emphasis on Revelations and how there's going to be 4 horsemen and stuff.
Not all of them. We shouldn't generalize that all Christians
Good point, yeah.
are world end fearing lunatics. You know,
End timers.
End timers. And no specific group is. It's just
we just like making fun of people while we're drinking tea. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just what we do.
and that'll be the last time I apologize for anything. So, in an instance of a real natural disaster, are you prepared? Because there are a lot of situations that can happen, depending on your geography, that are like very life-threatening. Earthquakes, or if
And
you live,
geographically so too, right? Where you go,
if you live in a flat area, tornadoes, big frickin' deal. Tornadoes can rip up an entire city. It's nuts. Bloods, like crazy things. If you're below sea level during a storm or a twister or a hurricane or something like that,
and if you live on the coast, the potential for like tsunamis and
if something bad goes down off coast, if you've got waterfront, careful. But are you prepared for that kind of stuff? It's not like you can just strap yourself up with a sandwich pack and a dinghy and be like, fuck, I got this down.
Well, okay, so we looked at the idea that there's a lot of hysteria, but at the same time, it's good to be prepared for things, right?
Yeah, there's a certain reasonable amount of preparedness. Like, in our current geography, which we won't specify, we are susceptible to earthquakes. For preparedness in that, it's not really hard. You need
to have a kit, right?
Yeah, well, you need essentials. Like, you need a way to have heat, because you need to be able to cook something.
So some sort of Kindle, flint.
Yeah, at that basis, yes. If it's short term, you can use propane as a little heat source. And you need something to boil water in.
Well, you got to keep hydrated.
You have to keep hydrated. You have to make sure your water is sanitary. If you're pulling from an exterior source, if you don't have actual water, packed.
Especially, and I think it's good to mention that if there is a flood or like an earthquake or anything, the biggest issue with all of it is the bacteria and viral infections.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to boil water.
People that were in the trenches in World War II, they got gangrene and shit from standing in water for too long. It can happen to you. It's not like rare circumstances. It's a bad environment. It happens to people in third world countries of the world. You just don't hear about it because you can go have showers here.
First world problems.
But
so you need to be able to boil your water. You need to get hydrated. You obviously need a certain amount of energy. A lot of people recommend granola.
Yeah.
Or even
Frick, if you don't got any like specialty items, just have a butt ton of sugar. Because, if you don't have anything like a metal tin or a mug or something packed away and you have a big earthquake that smashes your house, you're not going to be able to drink anything. You're going to be drinking straight out of a hot pot. Yeah. So you need like a mug. And
some sort of container that you can put like liquids or like solid food into as well.
Yeah, so you need your water sources, your heat. What are we missing?
Well,
cups, spoons, sugar.
Okay, spoons are handy for anything. You could use spoons for digging, but I mean, if you need to stir something or if you need to eat food or anything, I mean, it's necessary, right?
And this is all leading to a very happy you. Because if you don't have all those things and the apocalypse does go down, how are you supposed to make tea?
How are you supposed to make tea? That's what it comes down to, right? When the world ends, if you don't have tea, you're
water,
gonna
mug,
go crazy.
Sugar, spoon. Use the milk before it goes bad.
And there's actually an alternative as well. There's a superfood known as honey.
Almond milk. No,
honey.
Yeah.
Right, and honey doesn't go bad or anything. And almond milk. Yeah, almond milk if you're lactose intolerant.
Yeah, or just allergic to milk.
And if you run, let's say the apocalypse does happen and everything gets messed up and everybody's stealing things and all that. You know how you calm down somebody who wants to steal your stuff? You give them a cup of tea. Who's going to turn down tea?
That's conflict resolution. That's long term. You're thinking about real apocalypse shit right there. Because in a situation where the world falls apart, you're not going to be fighting zombies. You're going to be fighting other people. And if you're the guy that's got tea, whose couch are they going to want to sit on? You can bet your ass we're prepared.
And let's think about this. Every time, remember last time when you were sick a little bit, I added some ginger to the tea, and a little bit of spices. It fixes you right up. And who knows? We could probably I bet you between us, we could figure out a tea that could cure the zombie thing, right?
And all of your doctors are dead, and you got the right tea ingredients, you can fix a lot of the little things, I guess.
Nature provides.
Nature does provide. If man works with nature, you can make tea out of anything.
Yeah, if it grows, you can boil it and drink it.
That might be some rough trial and error. You might have to try that on the guests that you've subdued with your good batch of tea. Yeah, you try this out, this new blend.
You know what? We can give our viewers a guarantee. Okay, if the apocalypse happens and, you know...
If you show up to our camp in your GCaSL t-shirt, we won't feed you poison or use you as guinea pigs.
You know, if shit hits the fan, maybe if they can access YouTube from somewhere, you know, they have like some sort of satellite images, we'll give you guys instructions on how to use your natural environment to make the best tea ever. Right,
and if the world falls apart, we'll give you our location and you can come and hang out and have tea with us.
So that's Boba Fett.
Telling us that our time is up for this episode.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed our advice and, you know, comical discussion on Doomsayers. And if you guys liked what you guys saw, be sure to comment below. And if you guys are inclined, you know, be sure to subscribe.
Yes, please. Until next week. Oh, if you have any suggestions, please comment on them, just so we don't run out of ideas. We're not that creative.
And if you plan to make a video response, like always, make sure you're drinking tea, otherwise we just can't take you seriously.
That's true.
Yeah. Alrighty.
And
Next week.
hot chocolate will not suffice.